News this morning, Emmanuel Moseley, torn pec. Out indefinitely. It's going to be a while. Dan Campbell said he thinks he's going to try and recover, and maybe he'll be back by the end of the year. And he tried to put a good spin on it and say, look, he's coming off a knee injury. The good news is he can get his legs underneath him and really, really go over the top, rehabilitating and making sure that he's healthy in the lower half while he gets healthy in the upper half. But this sucks. And the good news is Terrion Arnold cleared from concussion protocol. He's back, but Moseley could be out for the year, and that would be the third season-ending injury that this team has suffered from a player that was considered a contributing player. And look, at no point have I started to think that oh God, here we go with the injuries. But the fact is, when you aren't getting guys injured, it's kind of like weeks later you look around and notice and say things like, I don't want to say anything, but knock on wood. And that's when you think your team is relatively healthy. This is how it starts, where weeks later they just start to pile up and pile up and pile up. And the next thing you know, Kindle Vildor is starting the NFC title game. And this is the kind of thing that, Arnold is okay. That's good. Zeitler doesn't sound like it's anything serious. Ifeatu Melifonwu's sitting out practice today. I think Sam Laporta sat out yesterday with a hamstring. Brian Branch is individuals only and 7-on-7s yesterday. None of those seem to be a concern. Emmanuel Moseley, maybe if he was going to be healthy, he was somebody that was just considered a bonus, but he was taking first-team reps at nickel corner. And so they weren't preparing for him to be a bonus. They were, at this point, preparing for him to be a starter. I don't know if Kaminsky was going to be a starter, and I don't know if Badgie was going to win Kaminsky probably wasn't, and Badgie, I don't know if he was going to win the kicker's job. This might be the most significant injury yet, and I'm not panicked, but this is kind of how it starts. Injuries start to pile up and pile up and pile up, and let's just hope they don't keep piling up.
Yeah, you hope not. And when I saw that this morning about Moseley, I felt terrible for him. He's been through a lot. I mean, tearing your ACL twice. Having those surgeries and the rehab to come back from that. And he was so determined, and it was such a good story like a week ago when he was emotional talking about how much he loves his team because the team believes in him to come back. And then here he is coming back. And as you said, getting some reps with the ones at the nickel corner. And then this happens. And, it's not automatically ruling him out for the year.
No.
But this is not an easy one to come back from. C.J. Gardner-Johnson had it last year, but he suffered it during the beginning of the season, and then he came back towards the end of the season. I guess the silver lining of this, or the saving grace, is that this happens the second weekend of training camp, well before the start of the season. So if he's able to come back on the same timeline, even though they thought that was a pretty quick timeline for Gardner-Johnson last year, then maybe he can come back for the last handful of games.